I'm going to share another story with you just from yesterday. So I had a consultation with a family yesterday, and we were talking about they're buying a second home. Second home has been on the market for a while, listed at $779,000. Now, second homes come with a high loan level price adjuster, so the interest rates on those are dramatically higher than what primary residences are. They're in line with investment properties. So let's talk about this. Let's think about this. So what did we suggest? They're thinking about offering a lower price for the property. And I said to them, consider not offering a lower price on the property. Let's consider the concept of going with a full price offer. Now, they may not want to do a full price offer. They may want to do a hybrid. But let's look at what the options were, what we talked about with them. So they've got some liquidity, and they're going to put 25% down. And we're looking at this, and I didn't have any plan on sharing this with you today, but I'm going to anyway because it's Ron Siegel Radio, and I can. So what did we talk to them about doing? And I'm going to see if on the fly, and I don't know if I can do this on the fly right now or not. Sometimes, I get myself in trouble because I start talking about some of these things because I'm passionate about helping you. So let's see if I can get this to wake up on my computer here. And Josh, I hope you're ready for this because it's scary. So I'm going to try and share my screen. So we looked at a $779,000 purchase price. We had a loan amount of $584,000. Interest rate, again, because of the situation, these people have excellent credit because there is the high loan level price adjustments for second homes. We were looking at a 7.625 interest rate, 7.78 APR for those of you keeping score. Payment, $46.24.21. Now, we said, what if they do a 5% concession to cover recurring, non-recurring, and unallowable expenses? We're buying down the interest rate to 6.25%. 6.781 is the APR. Now look what happened here. It brought their payment down to $35.94. They're saving $669 a month. Now look at the payment here. And I'm going to unhighlight these things over here, I believe. And take a look. The payment here is $35.94.76. In order to get the exact same payment, they would have had to do a $122,000 reduction in price. Now, do you think somebody that's listed at $779 is going to reduce their price to $657? Not unless they have to and over a long period of time. But that's what it would take to get to the same $35.94.76 as far as a payment. And again, we put in principal and interest and taxes and the estimated insurance. Those estimates are all in there. They're the same for all the columns, so I could have taken them out. It wouldn't have mattered. But the bottom line, now look what happens over 60 months. If you're looking at this with us, over 60 months, the Buydown saves them $77,900 versus a $122,000 concession that they're probably not going to get. So over 5 years, they've more than offset the amount of that $122,000. Strategy beats rate always. This is just another example of our seller buy down. Now, what's the biggest holdback on this? Well, some people are going to say, hey, Ron, what happens if the appraisal doesn't come in? Got you covered there too. Look at it. 701. What if the appraisal only came in at 700,000, 701? Well, we're going to keep the loan amount the same, but we're going to change the loan to value ratio. So it's not going to have much of an impact on anything. If you notice, the payment stays the same, cash to close stays the same. No big deal. It's all right there, the same numbers. So we've got the appraisal covered. You got to have a strategy to make sure you're covered on everything. So when you're thinking about concessions, and in this market, many people are thinking about concessions. Now, let's think about this, because I've shared this with you on many broadcasts. Do you know what it is that builders do to keep their inventory flowing? Yeah, they buy down the interest rate. Now, here we just looked at a 5% buy down. Now, it must be done the right way. If it's not done the right way, it can trigger high cost and predatory lending violations. But you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, so we understand how to do it the right way. You got to call us. Now, we like to get involved with this before you make your offer, because there's a lot of agents, a lot of listing agents that don't understand how to do this. So we educate them. A lot of lenders, they're out there saying, let's do a temporary buy down. And they're skipping to their own beat of the temporary buy down. Go to rsrlinks.com/buydown, and I go through the pros and cons of both the permanent buy down and the temporary buy down. Now, the permanent buy down that I just showed you, that's for 30 years. It's going to stay the same, which means that we can use that lower payment for qualifying purposes. The temporary buy down is by definition temporary. We cannot use that for qualifying purposes. Now, why do people like it? They say, well, Ron, I like that one better because it's going to allow us, if the rates go down, then we can just restructure the loan. And if there's anything left of that buy down money, it goes back to paying down the principal of that existing loan. If there's anything left. There were people that were doing the temporary buy downs 2 years ago, and there's nothing left now. And those clients now are up at the 6 and 7% interest rates, maybe 7.5 or 8% interest rates, because they had the wrong strategy. Even back then, when I recorded initially the video that's in rsrlinks.com/buydown, when I recorded that initially, I actually was talking to folks about the idea that, be careful here. Some of the cons of that buy down, of the temporary buy down, make me a little bit nervous. Just throw that out there.